Hello everybody and welcome to my channel. My name is Yahaira and this is the Let's Budgets, and on my channel I bring you weekly cash stuffing and budget with me videos. And in today's video it'll be a not budget with me, I just filmed that, a cash stuffing for a total $827. So let's go ahead and count this all out and make sure it's all here. So we have 100, 150, 200, 250, 300, 350, 400, 420, 40, 60, 80, 500, 520, 40, 60, 80, 600, 620, 40, 60, 80, 90, 700. I had a brain fart, the biggest brain fart right there. 7, 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, 60, 65, 70, 75, 80, 85, 90, 95, 800. 805, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, and 27 for a total of 827. We still managed to count right, even after a giant brain fart in the middle of that. I hope you guys are having a good week. It is Tuesday when I'm filming this instead of Monday. I had the first of, or I guess two out of three major dental stuff yesterday. I got temp crowns put in to replace an old one. And then the tooth next to it needed a crown because of how long it's been since I got that crown replaced. And then I got deep cleaning done. So I go back in a couple weeks to get the permanent crown put in, and then next week I get my wisdom teeth pulled out. So just doing all the teeth things. And then news, bad news all around. Had my test for my financial planner exam last week. Unfortunately, I did not pass. So that was a huge bummer. It just took a couple hours to mope and cry about it. And then I was like, all right, let's make a plan. What do I know that I need to study on for next time? Could I do better? It was just, I'm still thinking about it and kind of processing it and trying to figure out how to tackle the next attempt, because it was I didn't go in feeling like I was unprepared. Out of 170 questions, there was only 2 that I looked at where I'm I have no idea what this is talking about. There was 2 of them that I was really waffling on what the answer was, and then I had probably about 20 or so where I was just kind of not 100% sure on the answer. The unfortunate part is you don't get any sort of question breakdown, chance to review the questions afterwards. All you get is a breakdown of how you did in each area and what is good and what was bad. So it's I don't really know. It's hard for me to really figure out this is where I messed up. Because I said, I went in feeling prepared, and for most of the tests, I felt like I knew the answer, or I had enough of a basis to figure out what the answer was. So just trying to figure out how I'm going to tackle it again. I'm taking a small pivot to do a different licensing exam that should help open up doors for jobs regardless of having passed that test. So should be taking that at the end of August. And then, what else? There is some good news. I'll tell you the other bad news though. I unfortunately fell for a scam. Long story short, I thought a friend was selling something because she was helping an uncle out. Turns out it was a scammer. So I lost about $100. So we had to take that from the emergency fund because it came from our bill account. So I put that back into the bill account. I'm not holding my breath. PayPal's already said that they're not going to give me the money back. I'm hoping my bank could maybe return the money. But I just feel silly and I hate it. And yeah, I looking at it after, I'm I should have seen all the red flags. They were right there and I didn't see them. And it's just, it sucks. It really, really sucks. But we live and we learn. And then the good news though is I have an interview tomorrow. Well, I guess at the time of this post, I had an interview the day before. So it's Tuesday. I have an interview on Wednesday for an assistant financial planner position, aka paraplanner. So fingers crossed that goes well. It's a remote position, so it'd be really nice. So send me all the good vibes that the interview had gone well. Because again, you'll be seeing this after I've had the interview. But I think that pretty much covers everything major. So let's go ahead and get into it. Starting off with our variable spending. We're starting with groceries per usual, and that's getting $80 as 320s, a 10, a 5, and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. I got some funky bills from the bank this week. I got all these wavy ones, and I got some 10s. They were folded up into the tiniest squares for the longest time, so I don't know what happened. But groceries now has 20, 40, 60, 70, 75, 76, 77, 78, 79, and 80. I usually have budgeted August by this point because I usually do it around mid-month. But we're still waiting to see what Logan's check will look like after his second raise hits, which is this Friday. So part of me is like, do I just budget now, like based on the last check, and then we just like adjust from there, or do I try to be patient a little bit longer and wait? But I don't know. I'm being like, it's just weird to me to not have the budget done by now for the next month. Especially, and I guess I'm also impatient because next month is a magic month for us. So we'll be saving a little bit extra for our goals next month, which is nice because I mentioned a couple videos ago that we have like 5 million different goals that have suddenly required our attention. But we'll take it one step at a time. Pups is up next, and this week it's getting 110 as 250s. And then a 5 and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. So in pups, we now have 50, 100, 120, 30, 40, 45, 46, 47, 48, 49, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4. For a total of 154. And Rock got his new shipment of food this month, and the next month we have flea and tick coming out. So, but I think with his shipment of food, we're pretty much done for the month because Ash is good for food for the month, and then he's good for food for the month. Yeah, I don't think we should be spending really anything for them. And then I'm saying that I remember that I forgot to add. I think I forgot to add. Did I? I have to check. Because we went to the dog beach this past weekend, and I don't remember if I added the parking payment to my list of like things I have to pay back to my card. Up next is eating out, and that's getting 60 as 320s. So eating out now has 20, 40, 60. Also with my test, oh my gosh. So I consider, not to toot my own horn, but I consider myself a fairly smart person. School came pretty easily to me. College was like I had to try some, but that's college, you know. Like, even people who coast through like high school and stuff like that, they have to try it in college. But I've always been a really good test taker, so like tests like never really freaked me out. But before, and this might have been part of my downfall. Not might have been. It probably was part of my downfall. Was I spent Thursday, like I was nervous all week, right? You know, leading up to the exam, because just like oh my gosh, like a year of work is coming up to this. Like I'm nervous. Day before, I was a mess. Like my stomach was turning. Like it was like I wanted to throw up, but like I wasn't actually nauseous. You know, like it's really hard to describe because like I was still getting hungry. I could still eat, but like I was just like I want to throw up. You know. And we ended up eating out because I was just like, I had decided that morning that I'm not gonna make a full dinner like I planned to. I was just gonna make a freezer dinner, but then Logan's like, do you want some comfort food? And I was like, yes. So we ate out that night, and then the morning of, I was just even more nervous. And I told Logan, I was like, I've never been this nervous before. And he was like, really? Like, you've never had an exam like this? I was like, no. I was like, the biggest exams I've taken have been, up until this point, have been my SATs. Like, and I was like, when that is not that big of a deal, because like, you know, again, I was a really strong English student. The math is like pretty, for the most part, basic algebra. So I was like, it's not hard. Like it's, and I just needed to get a good enough score to get into a college, you know? Like it wasn't like life or death for this. Not that this test was life or death, but it's like, you know, like this means that I get licensed or not. And so, but he was like, you know, he's had his share of testing with like taking his ASVAB and then taking tests for his job in the military. Like, so he's had those tests where it's kind of like my job is on the line sort of thing. So yeah. And I'm hoping second go around, knowing what it's coming, like what it's like. I mean, I had an idea what it's like because there was a practice exam that I did beforehand. But it's like, I think having like an actual experience with like the actual real thing, I'm hoping next time I can go in calmer, because it's just like, I know some nerves is good, because if I felt like if I'm not nervous, that's not good. Like, you know, it's like being overconfident is a very real thing, and it's just like I don't want to reach that level. But I think I may have been a little too anxious, so I could do better next time with keeping that in check. But yeah. Up next is fun, and this week that's getting 35 as a 20, a 10, and a 5. So fun now has 20, 40, 60, 70, 80, 85, 90, and 95. And then we got gas, which is a tiny bit left over. I think I'm going to leave this in here though, because we've had a heavy driving weekend and heavy driving week. So I'll leave this just in case. Next week, if there's anything left over, I'll roll that over to a savings. But this week, gas is getting $1.55 as a 100, 2 20s, a 10, and a 5. So gas now has 100, 120, 140, 150, 160, 170, 175. And I mentioned in my budget with me that gas has gone down a little bit more, so I'm excited. So we'll see if we can save a little bit more from gas this month as well. Ash's food is getting skipped for the first time in months. She has something left over in there, and that's very nice to see. If this could be stopped. Yes, thank you. And then lastly in here is Costco. I'm hoping groceries are going to even out here since we can get back to stuff into the spawn. But Costco this week is getting 30 as a 20 and a 10. So Costco now has 20, 40, 60, 70, 80. And see what I mean? Like, whoever last had this 10, like, had it folded up so tiny, like, all these ridges, is like, what were you doing with this money? Maybe it was in a kid's piggy bank, who knows? But it's just like, oh my goodness. Which reminds me too, because like of how like where was this money? I went to go see Inside Out 2 with my mom a couple weeks ago, and there was this couple in front of us paying for their like their snacks and stuff, and I just watched this guy reach down into his sock and pull money out, and I'm like, why, sir? Like, you don't have a wallet? At least it wasn't like in his foot part, but like still, it's like, sir, please. Up next is my personal binder, starting off with my envelope. I'm going to get 35 this week as a 20, a 10, and a 5. So I now have 20, 30, 35. Oh, this 5 too. Maybe the same person owned this bill because they're folded the same way. And then actually, I think I need to pull, yes I do. I got to pull a placeholder out of books because I bought my new Nook. And I used my books money to buy it. So I'll put that away. And then lastly in here is Lambeau Field, and that's getting 15 this week as a 10 and a 5. I check as if it's any different, but you know, doesn't hurt, you know? So in Lambeau Field, we now have $500, $600, $700, $800, $900 in the bank. Then we got 20, 30, 40, 50, 55, 60, 65, 70, 75, and 77 for a total of $977. Woohoo! We're getting there. We're getting there. Get her up there. Up next is our savings challenges. Starting off with Deck of Savings. She is getting thick in here. Oh my goodness. Good thing we're almost done with her. She's getting 35 this week as a 20, a 10, and a 5. And as per usual, we are not counting this because we're waiting till the end to be surprised. And let's go ahead and draw our card. Yeah. So for next week, we got 25 and it has a little intentional savings logo, so that's it. Overstuffing next week is 25. That. And then our June savings challenge. Pull this out. This week it is getting 29 as a 20, a 5, and 5 ones. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Did I? I think I want to go back because I'm going to be missing a 1. And I only have 2 ones right there. I think I may have put too many ones in groceries. We'll go back and check in a second. But in this challenge, we now have 20, 40, 45, 50, 51, 2, 3, 4, 5 for a total of 55 doll hairs. And then let's go ahead. Ooh! I just hit a stack of envelopes that I have to make. Okay, let's go ahead and cross out the 5 5s. And then we'll cross out 2 2s. So just in terms of money wise, we're a little over halfway of it because it's a total of $100 that we're saving with this. So let's do that. And then before we continue on, let's go check that groceries and pups is where I put 5s in. So I put 1s in. So let's check. So groceries has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Okay, so that's right. I'm like, is that really right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah. Pups is gonna be the hard one because it had a couple ones in it already. I don't remember how many it had in there. I think it had 4 in there. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Did it have 4 or 3? I mean, either way, I think I'm gonna take a 1 anyways from this, just to make up for it. Which pups is fine. We'll see. I digress. What was the savings challenge wrong now? Now I'm questioning myself because, hold on. This is a mess, guys. You get to figure this out with me. Because 25 plus 29. Oh, yeah, no, it was in here. I grabbed too many 1s. Yeah. Okay, alright. We figured it out. So I'm gonna go put that 1 back in pups because it should not have been taken out. But we got her figured out. I thought that was weird. This place I was in, I should have started with that. You know? Okay. And then let's go start with our sinking fund. This is for our priorities / like gonna end sinking fund. Like they have an end goal sort of thing. Mini troops are not getting stuff this week. Japan's all done. Corolla is all done. Christmas this week is getting $50 as a 50. So Christmas now has $100 in the bank. 200, 250, 300, 355, 356. Woohoo! Gifts this week, it's getting its usual 20 as a 20. So gifts now has 20, 40, 60, 80, 90, 100. And this month is the last month that gifts is getting stuff before we start stuffing it back in January. Yeah. Up next is electronics, and that's getting 10 as a 10. So electronics now has 10, 20, 30. And actually has some janky bills this week. Oh my goodness. Or this month rather. But okay, that'll do it for that. And then lastly, we have our other sinking funds binders. This is more for never-ending / not priority sinking funds. Starting off with car maintenance. This week, where is it? It's getting 50 as a 50. So car maintenance now has $50. Up next is medical, and that's getting 50 as a 50. So medical now has $50. And then we got clothes, and that's getting $5 as a 5. So clothes now has 20, 25, 30, 35, 40, 45, 50, 55, 56, 57, 58, and 59. And then lastly is our new car sinking fund, and we're going to be hitting $100 this month with it, or this week with it. So she's getting this last $58. And so new car now has 50, 70, 90, 95, 100, 101, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For a total of 108. Woohoo! So that'll do it for this week's cash stuffing. If you liked it, please give it a thumbs up. And if you haven't already, please subscribe. It really helps my channel. And I'll see you guys again the next week for another week of budgeting. Bye.